why doing a short movie is a huge mistake and a big waste of your time. Everybody, this is Alessandro. Welcome back to my channel. So I want to go back to when I was studying animation and describe why I didn't enjoy doing a short movie and why I'm thinking was a big waste of my time, at least for me personally. And also because I did this mistake twice. As you guys probably, if you follow my channel, I studied animation twice. First with a traditional school to the animation, and then with a 3D school. And in both cases we were forced to do like a short movie. So let me go with the very first one. First of all, when I was studying 2D animation, was a 3-year school. The first year, more or less, we learned a little bit about the principle of the animation, about drawing, stuff like that. We were mostly doing in between. Again, it wasn't super focused in animation. So there was a lot of other things being taught, and I don't think was really the best. And I can guarantee you that definitely after 1 year, you could not say, oh, I know how to animate. Okay, yes, I know how to draw some in between and stuff like that, but definitely the gap wasn't there. And so the second and the third year, basically what did they let us do, like a short movie, right? With the entire team. And if at the beginning it seems very exciting because I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna learn the entire production of a movie, right? Like, you know, writing the script, the storyboard, the key color, doing layout, background, painting, animation, keyframe, all the in between, coloring to the final. So I will learn every step and I will learn a lot, which in a way was true. The issue is that while I was doing those things, I was not putting any focus into the animation. That's something I wanted to learn, especially because, as I said, the first year wasn't really the best. Not just for me, I'm saying the program wasn't really that focus. And rather than continue to teach us animation to let us improve our craft, now we have our energy completely going in a separate direction. So for in that year, probably make a couple of months of animation. All the other 10 months, I was studying all other things. And again, it's not bad if you're interested in those stuff, but if you really wanna become an animator, I didn't find it that good, right? Also because when you are in a team and all of you guys are student or junior, you don't know what you're doing, even if your teacher is supervising you, there is a chance that, you know, someone will mess up and will cause problem to other people. There was at some point where we divide the duty for each person. Okay, you will do the storyboard, I will do this, 2 people will do the script, blah blah blah. And we had one person who was very good in drawing and they should have done the character design, so creating the character, but he was very late, he never showed up at school, so it created a problem to everyone else, right? And so again, as you can see, the issue here, but the biggest one, again, I want to repeat, is like I wasn't narrow focused on one animation. And so as you can imagine, guys, after 3 years I finished the school, and like with everyone else in the class with me, except maybe one guy, nobody knew how to animate. Okay, there was and then you realize, oh damn, you know, like, yeah, they teach us a lot of things, but when it comes to animation, we fail, right? The second, like many years later, I decided to do an online school to study 3D animation. This time the school was so much better. Again, this time for the first year, we again go back to study animation from the principal for the bouncing ball. The program was really narrow focusing, great mentor and stuff like that. And you know, I learned a lot. I learned much more, so I was already very happy. But the last 6 months again was about like a short movie. You should have created like your own short movie. This time you're by yourself, so you'll have the rig, you have everything. You just have to create a story, the storyboard, the layout, and the final animation, right? And again, overall, I find the same issue. First of all, because a short movie is not for everybody. For example, it wasn't for me. If you ask me to come up with a story, my story is always articulated, too long, involve dialogue and stuff like that. I'm not very good when it comes very short story that you can do in 30 seconds, no dialogue. You know, all the one look very lame. So because it wasn't my thing, so I just wanted to do animation, right? And so yes, again, they teach a lot of things about layout, camera, writing story, blah blah blah. But again, I felt like that, you know, even after the first year I did, there was still a lot of things that I wanted to improve in animation before doing a short movie. I knew my body mechanics wasn't that good. I knew my acting wasn't that good, right? And I wish I could spend my energy to continue to refine those things rather than now doing an entire short movie. But obviously the school forced you to do it, so you're forced to. And so for the first 3 months, I came up with this story. I thought it was happy at the beginning, but after a few months, guys, I'm gonna tell you this, when I started to animate, I could feel I was not passionate about it. I didn't really care. You know, I was doing the animation, I was feeling I wasn't learning, right? I wasn't progressing. That was the worst thing. So I said, okay, I had a story here, I had the layout done, but I'm doing the character animation, I don't feeling it. I don't think it's something interesting. I was looking all those shots individually, and I see even if I polish them and make them look good, those are not worthy to be on a demo reel, which is the main goal at the end, right? Because of course, when you do a short movie, you think about the big picture, but at the end you want to put it on your demo reel, right? And again, you don't want to have a 2 minutes demo reel or stuff like this for animation. You just want to have 30 seconds with a lot of variety of shots, right? So I started to feel very demotivated, and what happened, I was like, you know what, I think I can just work this maybe a couple of hours a day. And I said, you know what, in the meantime, I'll do my own assignment, I'll do my own body mechanic shot, right? And so that's what I did. In the morning I was working on the short movie. In the evening and the afternoon I was creating my own body mechanic shot, because I knew that I still have to push my body mechanics. Of course I didn't have any mentor, but at least I remember all the things they taught me, and so I could apply those. And I was a lot more excited, you know, guys, because basically I finally could feel I was actually improving, because I look at my previous shot, I know where I was lacking, I have self-awareness. I say, you know what, I'm gonna do a shot, it will help me to reinforce those things, right? And of course, again, at the end I finished the school, I had a short movie, I wasn't happy. I have to say a lot of other students were in that situation, but at least I could use my time to keep pushing my skill. And obviously what I did after, I took a private mentor, okay? Luckily I was still in touch with a good mentor. I was privately asking him to teach me and to keep pushing my skill until finally I got a good reel, right? Because that's at the end of the day what we want, right? We want a good reel to apply for a job. And so that's exactly what I'm telling you guys, that for me was a big waste of time. Again, I understand you can learn a lot of things, but I think first of all, if you want to just become an animator, a model, a rigger, whatever, just focus on that craft first until you become very good and maybe get a job. Those other things where you want to study storyboard, camera, stuff like this, you can learn later. And I can guarantee you guys, once you're good, you don't need a year, 6 months to do those things, right? And again, once you are good very good, then you can take a couple of other students, get together, and says, guys, let's do our own short movie, right? You can do it later. But I always feel like as a school, your priority is to make sure your skill as an animator are top notch and you're ready to get a job. And 90% of the time, short movie, it doesn't cut it. Of course, guys, there are exceptions. There are a few guys who made a short movie that were amazing, great content, great story, great character animation, but I can tell you guys who are very, very few. Most of us, we didn't have really good skill yet, because, you know, let's face it, a year might not be enough to teach animation properly. There was a problem. So luckily the school get rid of it, very happy about that, and now that people can just focus on animation. However, I still see college or other school doing short movie, and you can see the quality is really bad, and the student is not learning as much as they should. Also, because I want to tell you another thing, guys, when I look for a job after I finished the school, nobody asked me about the short movie. Nobody asked me, Alessandro, do you know how to write a story? Do you understand storytelling? Do you understand camera? Do you know how to compose this? Nobody. They only care that I knew how to animate well, and that's it. Because especially when you start as a junior, they will give you a task, ideally a simple task that you just have to animate. You don't have to worry about all those other things. I guess unless you're applying for a role more related to story, but again, it's a different things. So again, guys, nobody ever asked me this, right? And again, this is something I think people struggle to understand, because I can understand how exciting it is to create your own story. Everybody wants to tell a story, right? That's what people go into animation, and people feel like, oh, I can't wait to do camera storytelling so I can do the whole package, right? People get very excited. However, what they struggle to see is that if the animation skill sucks, their short will sucks as well, and there is no point to make. Yeah, you can say, okay, I completed something, good job, but it's not gonna help you to get a job. So unless you have a really lot of time that you can afford to waste, I don't think it's a good way of focus your energy. Also, because again, doesn't mean you cannot do it later, right? You can always do it later. Improve your skill as animator first, become a kick-ass animator, and then do all the short that you want in the world, right? And of course, guys, there are few exceptions, because maybe you don't want to be an animator, right? Maybe you're studying at this school and you want to be a director one day or whatever, right? And then you think those things are gonna be useful. So first of all, nobody will hire you as a director. You became a director starting from the bottom, right? And if that's what you want to become, then maybe rather than be an animator, maybe you want to consider study storyboard artist, right? Most of the time storyboard artists can go into a director role because they do camera, timing, storytelling, right? So that's a more feasible way if that's what you want to become. Sometimes storyboard artists became layout artists because they do the camera in 3D, so they understand the gap between 2D and 3D, and then became director, right? So if that's the things that you want to do, for me it's the same things, right? Again, start first of all by becoming a great storyboard artist, and then thinking about to make your own short in a way, right? I think that will be a best way to do it. Also, because when you do storyboard, you just draw, right? I mean, I don't mean to say just draw because it's simple, but you already do sequence, right? So it's already part of it, of your scope. You just stop there at the storyboard. You don't need to learn necessarily all the other processes. It's good if you know about it, but doesn't mean you have to do necessarily, all right? But again, that's a different thing in case that's your goal. But as animator, much better, guys. Narrow focus, and make sure you became very strong. And these guys, just before I close the video, apply also the same things that I told before. Guys, don't do fighting sequence if you don't know how to do simple body mechanics. Don't do acting if you don't know how to do body mechanics well, right? Maybe I'm gonna discuss a little bit more this in the next video. Is the principle is kind of the same. Be extremely good in something rather than do a lot of things and you're not good in none of them, okay? Hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time, guys. Ciao.